The clown can stay, but the Ferengi in the gorilla suit has to go. There are plenty of big mysteries in Star Trek canon, but I couldn't possibly be exaggerating to say that this is the most important. So in Star Trek Generations, Data installs the emotion chip and discovers humor roughly exactly 35 minutes into the movie. And it goes really, really great for him. But the thing that sets him off is a memory from the Farpoint mission 7 years earlier. Geordie told a joke that ends with, "The clown can stay, but the Ferengi in the gorilla suit has to go." They were on the bridge. Geordie told the joke. That was the punchline. So I don't know how well you remember Encounter at Farpoint, the first episode of The Next Generation, but the idea that anybody on the Enterprise crew would tell a joke on the bridge is absolutely bizarre. Have you watched that episode lately? Because I have, and I'll do it again. I want to know exactly when Geordie told that joke. There's only one reasonable course of action here. I'm going through Encounter at Farpoint, scene by scene, to determine when this joke could have possibly happened. So let's go over the facts as recalled by Data, a character with a perfect memory. During the Farpoint mission, Data witnessed Geordie tell the joke to Commander Riker on the bridge. According to Data, it was very funny. That part is more of an opinion. So what we're looking for is a scenario in which the following 4 statements are true. Geordie is present to tell the joke. Riker is present to receive the joke. Data witnesses the joke. And they are on the bridge. We will then review every instance when all 4 elements are present and determine contextually which moment is the most likely time Geordie told that hilarious joke. So let's start at the beginning. After Captain Picard is done walking around the new sets, we get to the bridge. And there's Data. That's 2 out of 4 already. So Geordie flies the ship in the first season, but that guy is not Geordie. He's not flying the ship for long before Q shows up and uses his extremely specific ability to freeze.
Ability to freeze.
It's immediately established that Q has powers beyond human understanding, but he really loves to freeze. It's kind of his thing.
He's frozen!
So he freezes that guy, that's Lieutenant Torres, by the way, and tells Picard, no more exploring. Go back to Earth, you humans. You're a violent child species.
You want to review your rapid progress?
But Captain Picard knows there can be no joke until they pick up Commander Riker. So he runs away and executes an extremely dangerous high warp saucer separation for absolutely no reason. They go to the battle bridge, which is still a bridge, so it counts. Then Q catches them, puts them on trial, and freezes Tasha Yar. Look, I know he can do anything, but freezing is his passion, you know? You know? You get it.
He's frozen!
Q lets them go, and then, 30 insane minutes into this television show, we finally meet the man. It's Riker time, baby. He eats an apple, hits on Dr. Crusher.
See you on board.
He's still workshopping the Riker smile, okay? It's not quite there yet. But then, oh my god, it's Geordie. We finally found the other 2 parts. But now there's no Data and no bridge. But then Riker beams onto the ship and it's straight to the battle bridge so he can catch up on the part of the episode that he missed. We're getting closer. Now we have Riker, Data, and the bridge. Still no Geordie, though. Just this nameless con officer who would get his own spin-off show in a couple years. Everyone is so rigid and professional at this point in the show that I really struggle to imagine anybody cracking a joke on the bridge. But it definitely happens. It happens canonically. Look out, Geordie's on the ship. Not on the bridge yet, though. He starts out in sickbay so Dr. Crusher can mansplain his visor to him. I don't think I'm using that word right. Riker makes it to the regular bridge, and Data is hanging out with Bones. Old Bones. Earlier, when Q first appeared, Worf just kinda stood around while B'Elanna Torres got frozen.
He's frozen!
But this time he's phaser ready when somebody scary shows up on the view screen. Then it's public shaming.
Do you intend to blast a hole in the viewer?
That's called a story arc. Now it's time to meet with Groppler Zorn, and he mentions Ferengi, but I don't think it's a joke. Counselor Troy didn't think it was very funny. Oh, yes, here, Riker crosses a bridge of stones to meet Data in a tree. And Riker tells a joke.
Nice to meet you, Pinocchio.
It's kind of a joke. He calls it a joke.
A joke.
Okay, now we're talking. We have Riker, Geordie, and Data all in the same place, down on the station. No bridge, though. There's a remote chance they all met on the Enterprise bridge before beaming down to Farpoint, and Geordie started cracking jokes then. There's also the possibility that down on the planet, all three of them were standing on a bridge over a body of water. Yeah, it is a barren desert planet, but maybe Geordie thought of the joke and said out loud, "It sure would be great if there was a wood or stone bridge here." Then they all remarked how odd it was they didn't notice that bridge until just now. Then, Geordie told a real zinger. They split up almost immediately, but we don't see them beam in, so it could have happened just before the scene starts. We'll call those ideas technically possible, but contextually unlikely. They reunite in the underground tunnels after Deanna's emotional breakdown. There aren't any bridges there, but it would be pretty poor timing for a joke with a clown in it. A big flying saucer starts firing on the surface, and then just as they're leaving the tunnels, Geordie beams back to the ship. We were so close. Riker and Data stand around and talk about how many casualties there are, and Geordie finally appears on the bridge. Technically, Geordie could have used the communicator to tell the joke at this point, while they're in immediate danger on the surface, but Data clearly says, "We were on the bridge." It's gotta be at least two. I just really appreciate how Groppler Zorn really makes a 3-course meal out of every line. He's making a scene and he doesn't care who knows it. So he gets kidnapped or whatever, while Picard is debating ethics with Q when Riker and Data show up on the bridge. This is it. All 4 elements. Now all we need is the time for Geordie to really impress us with a long-winded dad joke. Picard is maximum stern at this point in the show, so nobody's going to be making a joke while he's around. Alright, Q leaves. Then Picard leaves. This is the first time we can say with certainty that the joke could have been told here. 1 hour, 16 minutes, and 30 seconds into the combined 2-parter, while Captain Picard is embarrassing himself in front of Dr. Crusher during a major crisis. From the point when Riker's away team beams over to the flying saucer, we see every moment on the bridge until the space squids fly away. And that's the end of the Farpoint mission. When I first saw the scene in Generations where Data references Farpoint, I assumed it was some scene from the pilot that I had forgotten about. Obviously, it isn't. And realistically, they're just referencing the longest possible amount of time for Data to be just now getting a joke that Geordie told. But I can now say with certainty that there was a canonical moment in The Next Generation when Geordie tells a joke with the punchline, "The clown can stay, but the Ferengi in the gorilla suit has to go." And it may seem stupid or pointless to commit this much time to something that matters so little, but if we're not examining the deepest minutiae of Star Trek canon, the stuff that really matters, how can we even call ourselves fans? So what greater understanding of the franchise can we gain from this? I don't know.